Kevin Gulley, the president of FuelDog, and I'm sitting here at a soccer practice that I really don't want to be at, so I figured I'd take a few minutes and do a little video blogging. Today I thought I'd take a minute to speak about the concept of editorial voice within the context of content and social media marketing. Now, we've had a chance over the course of the last dozen years to work with a lot of the biggest media companies in the country. And one thing I know for sure is that not a single media company out there that is producing a new magazine, producing a new e-newsletter, putting a new video online, would ever consider doing something along those lines without first taking the time to create and define an editorial voice for that media property. And one thing that I want to be clear about, as you get more and more involved in content and social media marketing, you are acting as a media company. And you need to do a lot of the things that media companies do to make sure that their content and their brand is well represented. I just mentioned a word that's really important here. When you start publishing, you start putting out content that is going to appeal to your potential constituents and help bring them to your site and help you engage with them, the first thing they're going to see is this content, and it's going to represent your brand in their mind. So the editorial voice that you define is going to be absolutely critical to representing your brand. How do you do it? How do you go about creating an editorial voice? The one thing that we've done and we've helped our clients with in the past, and that they've shown us how to streamline, is by starting with a simple concept. What are 20 good adjectives, 10 to 20, that are going to describe what we want our editorial voice to be? Do you want to come across as professional? Do you want to come across as trustworthy? Do you want to come across as funny? Do you want to come across as competent? You need to come up with what these terms are for your organization, because when you do, you're going to have a much better feeling for how your individual contributors should be writing or producing video or anything along those lines. So the first thing is to actually come up with a list of adjectives that represent what you want your editorial voice to be. As soon as you're done with that, you need to flip that on its ear and come up with a list of another 10 to 20 adjectives that describe what your editorial voice is not. If you want to be funny, that's one thing. If you want to be, maybe you do not want to come across as cute. Maybe you do not want to come across as flippant, or you do not want to be boring. So come up with a list of what your editorial voice is and what your editorial voice is not. Once you do that, whoops, sorry about that, things are moving around. Once you do that, you need to turn this into a document and review this with senior management, because this editorial voice, both is not, is going to be really important in branding your enterprise going forward, because your online presence is the way that people are going to find out about your brand at very, very many levels. So review this with the editorial voice with your senior management, and make sure once it's approved that any content producer that you have producing content for your organization, whether it's bloggers, internal contributors, video producers, folks who are interacting with social media, people who are generating tweets and Facebook posts, all of these people have had a chance to review this, that they've been trained on it, and that they clearly understand it. That's going to help you create consistency, it's going to help you create a professional image, and it's going to help improve the value of your brand.